Hi everybody, it's Charlie. Teresa's over there getting some cardboard. Yesterday we showed you how we planted our potatoes over here in the ground, and we had a few extra potatoes, so we grabbed some buckets. We put 5 holes in the bottom of the bucket and 3 holes around the side of the bucket, as you can see, about 3 inches up there. Little holes. Use a 1-inch paddle, and then in the bottom of the bucket, that's our compost. I'm going to add, this is a little bit of horse manure and topsoil in there, and I might put some of the regular clay kind of sandy stuff in there. Anyhow, and then we're just going to try growing some in buckets. Same potato stock, but compared to what we planted in the ground versus what we put in a 5-gallon bucket. All right, so I'm going to press pause here and rejoin after we fill the buckets. We're back. Teresa's over here now, filling the buckets. She goes through them, and if there's any kind of weeds that look like Bermuda grass, she likes to pull them out. So we put in the bottom of the bucket, it's 3-4 inches of compost. And then I had a mixture of topsoil, horse manure, and some of our clay. So kind of put a little bit of the clay in there. It helps us get rid of some clay and mix it up. Turns it into good soil after a little bit. So we don't fill the buckets all the way to the top because we'll keep adding soil as the potatoes grow. You can see she put cardboard down on the ground. So she's going to be inside where I'm putting up the fence for the deer. But I'm going to also put a nice layer of sawdust or wood chips.
Wood shavings is what we're getting. Bedding that has manure in it, horse manure. And, so we won't always use buckets.
Right, it'll go under that ground there, which doesn't have much in it other than a little bit of clay. And it'll start to help us turn it into topsoil.
Right.
So this area here will be almost 20 by 20 of topsoil when we're done. It'll take it a couple years. But so far so good. And while Teresa was digging out some compost, she breaks up the bigger clumps if there are any, which there aren't that many, but every now and then she'd find a potato peel that was sprouting. So we made 5 buckets. Now we got more potatoes to plant in buckets. Okay, these buckets are old, used buckets. We've used them many, many times. The one next to where Teresa's working says drywall on it, so it had spackling compound on it or whatever. So
I have to get some more cardboard, but they were all clean inside.
So we cleaned them all, and they've been sitting around for a long time, and they're about ready to deteriorate and fall apart. So that's why we decided to use them one last time for the potatoes.
Whoops.
Now, I know other videos, they say go out and buy these, food-friendly buckets, and that's fine if you want to do that. I just use drywall buckets. Being builders and contractors, we get access to a lot of drywall buckets.
These aren't planted.
Yeah. So we're planting 5. This is 5 additional plants. And we'll probably put 2 or 3 more in the ground. Right there. So, and then the rest of this ground here, we're going to save for sweet potatoes. Do you need some help, Therese?
No, I am. I need to get the hose over for water.
So we're going to give them some water. We're going to bury them. Well, it's just going to bury them in there so the sun's not on the potato, but probably 5-6 inches down. And when they start to sprout and grow up, then we will add soil. It's almost, I guess, maybe up to like 3 inches from the top. We'll add more soil. So anyhow, that's it for now. I'm going to press pause. Okay, we're back. The buckets are now planted and watered. Cardboard underneath the buckets. Over here, I put 2 holes with the shovel, and then I put some compost in the bottom of the holes. Teresa's going to come over and plant the potatoes, but our neighbor Rose is here visiting, so we got distracted. Anyhow, we're going to plant 2 more potatoes in there that were volunteers from the compost pile and cover them up. So we'll see how they do compared to the other ones. So those will be the volunteers. All right, so that's it for today, guys. Thanks for watching. Teresa and Charlie, Delaware Gardening for 2. This is our first year. We started July 10th last year with our first string beans. And we're about, 9 months in now? And going strong.